Once you have a lot of files in your drive, it's really important to get them organized. First, let's look at how to actually upload an item into your drive. You start with New. I'm going to choose File Upload, and I'll choose this photo to add to the drive. Once I have the photo in here, I can do a variety of things with it. I'm going to right-click and show you all the things I can do. I can preview it, just gives me a quick peek at it. Now this doesn't open it up, it just lets me look at it. So some of the things won't work. So for example, if this was a Microsoft Word file, I wouldn't be able to make any changes to it. I could just peek at it. I also have the option to open it with some of these programs. Sometimes they'll suggest other apps that you can add to your drive. The option to share and get a shareable link. Those are two things we're going to go through in the next video about working with others. You can also move it. So from here, I could move it to some other place in my drive. Like I could put it in Other folder. If I put it in there and click Move, then I look in Other folder and it's there. Now I can move it out by just right-clicking and doing that Move to again, or a faster way to do it is to just drag it over, and now it'll be back into my regular drive. Another thing you can do is add a star. If I want to make this a high priority file, I can add that star to it. Let me do that. When I click starred, it's going to come up in the starred results. Another thing I can do is, well, I can remove the star. I can rename it. Right now it's called Blueberries JPEG. If I wanted to give it another name, I can change it right there, and then that name will be reflected. I can also just view details. Now this gives me the same information as if I clicked on up here. I'm going to skip over manage versions right now because that's a little bit more advanced, but I can make a copy of it. And what happens is that it basically just duplicates it. If I wanted to rename it or put the same document or same file into more than one folder, I can do that by making a copy. Then I can also delete it, remove it. Along with being able to put things into your drive, you can also download them. And let's see what happens when you do that. I'll click download. And that's going to appear right down here. So I'm going to click on that and click show in folder. And it's going to show me where it is in my documents, so I'll be able to find it. And from there, I can move it around or rename it or do whatever I want with it. So in addition to uploading a file, you can also upload a whole folder. I am going to skip that right now, but what it would look like is you would get a brand new folder here and you'd open it up and it would have files in it. You can also create a new folder from here. So let's do that. You'd name it. With these folders, you can also add a star to them, and you can change the color of the icon. So if I wanted to make this red, then that would make it stand out. And some people have whole systems where they've got all of their folders completely color-coded. So that would be a way to do that. Another tip for organizing your folders is if you do have lots and lots of them, you can rename them and give them numbers. So if I just change this to 01, for example, and then the title, it would appear at the beginning. So if you don't like the way Google Drive is automatically organizing things, those are some ways that you can reorganize them so that you have more control over the way they appear. So once you have a folder, like I showed you before, you can drag items into the folder that way, or you can drag them in like this. I can pull this over and just put it in right that way. Another thing that you can do with a folder is you can create a folder inside a folder. So once I'm in this folder, I can choose New Folder. Maybe this is going to be a folder that has lots of materials that have to do with food, and I'm just getting it started. So I'm going to move the berries inside the fruit folder, and maybe I'll have others for dairy and grains or something like that. So once I look inside the fruit folder, notice that these words here, we call these breadcrumbs because it's a trail. This starts to build and build and build. So you can really have a lot of folders inside folders and then just follow the trail back. Notice also that when I created the fruit folder, it appeared underneath this new folder. So when I collapse that, it's not there. But when I open it up, you can see the fruit folder. One other thing to know is that when you upload certain types of files like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, because Google Drive already has programs that are similar to those, you aren't going to be able to open them up inside Google Drive unless you convert them over. So I'm going to upload a Microsoft Word file to show you how that works. Do File Upload. So this is the Microsoft Word file that I just uploaded, and see that it has that W there. If I click this to open it, it'll give me a preview, but I can't do anything to change it or anything like that. So what I have to do if I wanted to actually work with it in Google Drive would be to open it with Google Docs. This is going to take that file and convert it to a Google Docs file. And most of the time, most of the information does come across correctly. From here, I can now make changes to it. Notice that the DocX extension stays on it. So one thing I like to do when I upload Microsoft Word files is just get rid of that. I change the name right in there, and then that gets rid of that. So now I have two of the same files here. I've got the Microsoft Word version and the Google Docs version. What I will typically do in that case is take this and I will just trash it. And that's one other thing to notice up here is that a lot of the options that you have here, you also have over here. They don't appear until you've actually clicked the document, but once you do, you get these options here, and you even get a few more in that More menu. So this same process of uploading a Microsoft Word document and converting it to Google Docs, that's the same if you uploaded a PowerPoint or if you uploaded a Microsoft Excel worksheet.